Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think is a fair expectation or, baseline production for Malik Nabers in year one? I think his ceiling is incredibly high. I agree with you. I think he's an 1,000 yard guy, but is it like just sneaking over 1,000, or is he gonna put up like just absolutely stupid numbers like Justin Jefferson out of the gate kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him put up Justin Jefferson numbers, obviously, but he doesn't have Kirk Cousins throwing him the football. So I think he is limited in his ceiling. I think his floor is still high. He's going for over 1,000 receiving yards in my mind, unless he gets hurt. Like, that's the only way that he's not going for 1,000 yards, right? And then everybody loves to make the comparisons to Odell. Again, OBJ in 12 games in 2014 put up 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. He was ridiculous, led the league in receiving yards per game. We all want to see that happen for Malik Nabers. But again, 2014 Eli Manning wasn't the best version of Eli Manning, but it was still quite far ahead of where Daniel Jones is right now, especially coming off of a torn ACL. So even with the question marks that we had for Beckham back then, they weren't as great as they are for Neighbors right now. And that's why I think a realistic projection on the high end is 1,200. It's not breaking OBJ's 1,300 as a rookie, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to do it. Love to see it happen. Don't think it happens. I honestly think he goes somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100 yards, probably 5 to 7 touchdowns, and I'd say give him 80 receptions.
Yeah, that honestly sounds about right to me. And that might be enough to get him offensive rookie of the year. It's going to depend on what the quarterbacks do because usually it's a quarterback award. But, a couple years ago, Garrett Wilson was able to win it with similar kind of production. He had 1,100 yards, and I believe it was only like 3 touchdowns that year also. So I would not be surprised if Malik Neighbors is in the conversation for offensive rookie of the year. Going to be one of the bright spots of this Giants team. But any other bright spots you're looking forward to for the Giants this year before maybe we get into some of the negative things?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned idiot proof wide receivers. The number one is Justin Jefferson, who you also just mentioned. Week one, we have an awesome matchup: Justin Jefferson versus Deontay Banks. Deontay Banks is one of those players that I can't wait to watch play this season. I think that he was misused in that Wink Martindale defensive scheme. When he was drafted, Giants fans immediately labeled Banks press man corner. He wasn't a press man corner. He played cover three zone primarily at Maryland. He is a press zone corner. So Wink Martindale sticking him in this man coverage, blitz heavy cover zero defense all season did him zero favors as a rookie. He was learning an entirely new way of playing football as a rookie. He's got all the talent in the world. He's one of the best athletes in the entire NFL, and he's a great cover cornerback who was baptized by the fire last season with a lot of really great wide receivers. Week one versus Justin Jefferson. I can't wait to watch how Deontay Banks performs, how he matches up against Jefferson. We know Jefferson's going to get the best of him on several reps, but are there any reps that Banks wins? And does he win them emphatically and set a tone for the rest of the season? I think he is the key to this Giants defense. We talked about the pass rush. We know that's going to be a good unit, but how does that secondary look? How well Deontay Banks performs this season is going to be the catalyst to success for the Giants on the back end. I cannot wait to watch him play.
Yeah, for me, I think Deontay Banks is one of the biggest keys to this Giants defense, which is kind of what you just said there. I'm excited about the Giants defensive line. I think their linebacking group is good enough, but in the secondary, I really think all the pressure lies on Deontay Banks because we talked about at length the Giants corner two issues. They bring in Adoree Jackson late. I would imagine that he's going to hold down that role, but I think the Giants are going to ask him most weeks to just try to take away the opposing number one receivers. And if they do that, and if he's able to, survive doing that, I think the Giants defense is going to be maybe a little bit even better than what some fans are thinking it's going to be out of the gate.